you still have to be able to cut. So even though the knife is a beast, you can shave with it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. It's been a while since I filmed anything regarding knife making, but now I came to an interesting project that I was thinking might be interesting for you guys to see. So far you've seen me doing the full tank constructions, which means that the tank of the knife, so the steel part, goes all the way into the handle, and then the scales come on like a like a sandwich. This kind of construction is the strongest in my opinion. Even if the scales in the worst case scenario fell off, you can still use the knife. And the other type of construction is the so-called tank construction, which means that blade of the knife narrows down into the tang, which then goes into the block of wood, goes inside, and essentially you can imagine this piece, it's not suitable for holding anymore, but you are much more flexible in with the creativity, how you want to shape or sculpt the handle. So today we'll be making a knife for my friend with the call sign Dwarf. He's an archer, and you can imagine, as dwarves being the short people, they want to have the biggest knife. So this will be about 21 centimeters long blade. So Palček, which in Slovenian means dwarf. Palček, I hope this will be long enough for you. So the construction will be something along the lines: blade, then comes the how do you call that, the guard, which we will cut the hole, fit it in, cut this piece of nice walnut wood. I'm not sure if you see the pattern, you will see it through the build. We'll put it on, and Palček made a nice piece he carved a nice piece of antler like this. So he carved the, let's call it the rose part. So we will, at the end, if you can imagine now, so the blade, the guard, the handle, and then at the bottom we will put this that he carved. So I hope you like the build. I hope we managed to do it right. So stick around. Let's see what we come up with. So first, shaping of the overall blade. So you can see that's the way of my work. I do mark the shapes, but as I grind, then as I feel the knife, have a feeling where the steel goes, how the lines are forming, then I'm also changing the shape a little bit. So here I made this little curve, which I like a lot, but when grinding the bevel, this can be some serious issue, but let's see how it goes. So now what we'll do is we will shape the, let's call it the shoulders, where the guard will fit. So let's go over to the vise and file and start working. So now some manual work. I will be fixing this once the guard is there, but just to get at least rough position, so when I'm fitting the guard I will not have too much of an issue. There will be issue by itself, how to fit it properly. Yeah, let's see. Why not make life complicated if we can? Make it too big, not to waste too much meat on it, so we can come back later on and touch up. Not sure if you will be able to see this. Just made it, let's say, close to 90 degrees for the fit. I'm hoping to, I will be moving this one a little bit forward because I want the knife to be like, you know, my classic drop point. So I want also the, how should I show this? To tilt it like this, you know, the handle, the guard. Yeah, you will see as I work. Now, I guess this one will be big enough. So next thing is trying to make a nicely fit guard. I need to measure this part and this part so it will go on. You can see I left a lot of meat because I want to keep the knife as strong as possible, and probably what I will do, I will not go classic drilling the hole and then getting in, but will probably cut this in half, then use the, what's it called, you know, the woodworking tool, just to make the grooves for this and glue it back together. So, and I think that will keep it quite strong, because this part will remain very, very wide. So let's see how it works. So I will be marking rough middle of this piece, so 4.5 4 centimeters, 2 millimeters, so 2.1. It will not matter to be exact because yeah, it's, as you can see immediately, I'm doing some stuff which is not, but because it will not be as wide as this. So once I make a proper hole, I will be shaping this, so it will be much smaller, so maybe up to here. So it doesn't matter. The point here why I'm saying you this is just, you know, sometimes people get all crazy about the details which are, you know, completely irrelevant. I mean, if you want to go that way, all good, but sometimes you are just bothering yourself too much with it. So I like to simplify stuff. Now this is one thing that I still didn't master fully. How and where to, or how to make this stuff perfectly in line, or even more, how wide to space them. Because you can imagine, once you go in with the drill bit, you can get, if the spaces are too narrow, the drill bit will slip into the previous one. If they are too wide apart, you will get, you will have a lot of manual filing to do. But, well, quite happy how this turned out. So I'm not sure if you see, it's quite straight. So one thing about my knife making is I'm constantly searching for something. So, okay. So this is 4.5 millimeter thick. So I will start these holes probably with the 3 millimeters, go with 4 or 3.5. Then I will use the high-speed rotary tool to connect all the holes and then go in manually with file. That's it. So 3 millimeter drill. I'll be going now with the 4, connecting these holes and then going with the high-speed rotary tool. So let's see how it works out. It's not that bad. So let's see how now it works out. So 4 millimeter holes connected. Remember, I have a thickness of the steel is 4.5. So now with the rotary tool. You remember my rotary tool. What I wanted to show you, I think I didn't show you before. I bought this of the Amazon, maybe, I don't know what it was, 20 euros. Various thickness of the carbide drill bits, and they help tremendously with this kind of work. You will see now how fast you go through it. Keep in mind what I'm doing. I'm working with the steel, so the same steel that I use for the knife. So this is much stronger than, you know, if you would use your typical brass or copper, which you typically see on the knives. I just love to see also the guard to be, you know, black and not have that yellowish stuff. Maybe I will do also some of that, but for now this is the design I like. So I think it's worth a little bit extra effort. Okay, so now as we did this, and I still didn't find the files which are thinner and it doesn't fit in, first I have to take out the peaks with the smaller one, then go in with the big one, and then work it out until I can fit it on my guard. So I don't have the milling machine, so I try to do this as precise as possible by hand, but then on the other hand I don't want to make the, you know, knife guard, hand guard or whatever this is called for, I don't know, 3 weeks filing up to the micron, you know. So At some point it has to be good enough, let's call it like this. But of course I also don't want to hand out the knife with a giant holes on the side of the blade. So I recently made one. I don't know if you saw it on my social media. Check it out. That one was really, it turned out really great. So I took my time with this filing, and it was a perfect fit. So let's see if we can repeat the story for our Dwarf. Almost there. Almost there. Once the big file is in, then it's much easier. If you have some good tip on the quality of the files to be used for this, because I try to get a good one, but somehow I have a feeling this is like, it takes forever. I don't know, maybe that's how it should be, but or maybe you have some tips on better files. So little by little we are going through. So this part is already close, and once it starts going, then it goes. It goes fast. But let's use still the small one on this part. And this, now, you know, of all the knife making so far, this is the part which I still struggle the most. I like to think that let's say that I learned to grind decently. I'm still far from being good, but you know, I would say the grinds are decent. Now this precision work is something that I need to work on. Okay, so now we are getting somewhere. Of course, we are getting to the point where the file is dropping off. It's not bad. Now, as the holes were not perfect, I'd like to work both ways just to make sure I don't get any unpleasant, you know, surprises, seeing that I didn't flatten nice and then some holes appear. So you can see the sweat coming down. So for those of you who think knife making is a, you know, easy job, well, give it a shot. Yeah, I need to take out a little bit more. And on this side I don't like this too much, but it's not that bad. Okay. handle is glued up, so everything is test fitted. Goes in quite nicely. Is one thing that I still need to learn is how to use the chisel to make those holes in the wood when I split it up, because whenever I see the tutorials everything looks so nice, the chisels go, but now either I don't know whether the walnut is too hard or chisels are not sharp enough. I don't know, that's one thing. Now, write me in the comments below if you have some tips on using the chisel for this kind of stuff. So this is it. Now on to the grinder. Put the rough shape. You can see this is not square because I want the handle to be like curved inside a little bit for a better holding. Yeah, we move forward. Now to shape the guard. now you're getting the idea where we are going at. So already quite powerful tool. So now need to put the, so first of all square this off. I think I will put 2 pins just to, you know, if you have 1 pin, then it can, you know, oscillate a little bit, even though it's fitted up there, so it shouldn't, but just, you know, to be on the safe side, or maybe just, I will see, maybe I'll put just 1, just for the visual appeal. I don't like 2, then I would take 3, but 3 would be too much, I think. So squaring this off and then the pin. So, not sure if you can see, knocked this off, already shaped with a, I think it's 60 grit. And now on to, you know, higher and higher grits. I think I will drive this one up to 1000, see what happens. Very often, due to the, you know, all this things in the wood, you don't see the marks, so sometimes you come up to the 600 and then you figure out you need to go back to, you know, 150 or something to clean up. But yeah, it's okay. That's the nature of the this kind of, you know, craft, or it's the nature, sorry, or it's my nature that I'm not well trained yet. Light in the workshop, it's extremely important. It will save you a lot of trouble. Imagine that you drive this all the way up to 1000. You have a feeling you've done all things enough, you know, refined it enough, but then you at 1000 you find some scratch marks. You have to go all the way back, and I'm telling you, it can be frustrating, very frustrating. To beautiful piece of walnut. That's it. So, update. Handle is sanded up to 1000. Finished. Guard finished. Edges knocked off and hot blued. Pin, I will show you what I plan to do. I don't want to disturb the handle anymore once I glue everything together. So I will use a drill together with the grinder to round this off and just glue it perfectly together, so it will be like a small cap protruding on each side. The blade is in the coffee, so it's extremely dark now, but you have to understand that's coffee on it. So it will be not this black. It's always a little bit of a surprise. So once I clean this, I will show you, so you can see the difference. Okay. So taking the blade out of the coffee. Not sure if I explained this in previous videos. Problem with this coffee is that once you stain your hands, it takes forever to clean them. So I just put my gloves on and let's see what we have. So the blade coming out. So if it would be that dark, would be beautiful, but let's see what we get for real. It's coming out decently dark, hence the name. One thing I'm not sure if I explained before in my previous videos, you know, my blades are dark but practically never black, and of course there are products on the market where you can blacken the blade completely. The issue that I potentially see, pay attention, potentially see, and I'm not saying it's like that, is the food safety. So if you cut sausage or bread or whatever with my knives, considering that these are simple steels, there shouldn't be any issues, I think, for the health. So you can see now, I'm never sure where the camera, but you can see it's kind of gray. Very often when I take, sorry, not very often, sometimes at this point some small cracks would show, and unfortunately everything is done and only at this point I notice that there is a crack, because the coffee obviously goes inside, and yeah, and then there is nothing you can do. The blade is ruined, and that's it, game over. So the fit of this guard, or sorry, of everything, I just love it. I mentioned, I think, a couple of points that I see, but you can have a sneak peek. So that's it. This will be the blade for our Dwarf. I have to say I'm quite happy how it's turning out. As I said, now I will mark one pin, cut, glue everything together, and then I guess we will see if we will drill a hole and make an engraving made of stag antler that Dwarf did. But nonetheless, this blade, I love it. It's simple. There is some movement inside, of course, but once I glue this together, it will be gone completely, and yeah, this will be like perfect. I'll show you. You cannot see the fit now. I will show you once the blade is completed, so can see. But that's it. Now that I think now at this point with this blade there's not much to be ruined. The only thing as a challenge is to name it. So you can see the pin. Everything fits perfectly. No gaps whatsoever. I think this will be a beauty. And it's a beast. Beauty and the Beast in one piece. Here are 3 of his brothers. Good morning. Knife for the Dwarf is finished. 22 centimeters long blade, roughly I think 12 centimeter long handle, 4.5 millimeter thick, hidden tang construction. I would say not as strong as the Bear with the full tang, but still very nice, powerful knife with some nice details. You saw the fitting of the guard, rounding of the pin, a bit of a curve in the blade. Super happy how it turned out. The piece of walnut that I used, I love it. And of course, you still have to be able to cut. So even though the knife is a beast, you can shave with it. I hope Dwarf likes it when he sees it in real. So that will happen now in 2 days. So I will post a shorty on the YouTube. So make sure you check out the reaction. Thank you. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this build or all other stuff that I do. If you have any ideas what you would like to see, I will try to film it. Thank you.